server was streaming on YouTube yesterday, and it looked like, those old school analog static you get on
Yeah,
old televisions? It looks
Oh,
like
the
he had that
squares.
on. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was.
that's cool.
Yeah, that was freaking out for some reason when I watched him a couple days
Well, it
ago.
just looked like it was like his CPU's dying.
They might have put like a filter on or something.
I think when I'm speaking, it should never hit the red on my mixer. It's hitting the red. Oh well. Just lower the volume if you're watching. And apparently,
it's not normal
since you guys never actually watch the stream with audio and you just leave it on, apparently my mic sounds like shit on stream. And I had to fix it.
Oh.
His server was the one to point it out. He sounded like it sounded like I had boosted my volume in my mixer, but then muffled it with something. So like I was like screaming through a pillow apparently.
Just imagine you doing that with the squirrel audio, like brutal.
All right, let's find. Hold on, wait. Switching stances. Hold on. And we're getting dropped frames right out the bat. Yeah, hell yeah. Off the gate, out of the bat. I like switching those expressions around.
On the bat.
When D-Gray was playing Redfall the other day, I saw.
Digo is running out of games to play. He's playing Monster Hunter as well.
Yeah, I think he was like co-oping it with someone.
Yeah, that was like on and off for ages.
That would drive me nuts if someone was like doing that with Monster Hunter. I'd just be like, you fucking dedicate your time to this motherfucker.
Yeah,
Kill you.
Man's moved away as well. He's gone different state. Not near the little Donny Tower anymore.
I'm sure they have a Donny Tower somewhere nearby. You can't get away from it. Unless you're like,
I don't want to dox him.
In that town. Alright.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and recap first. 125 is now, so let's find the 124s. Dan is the first one that I see that's got the... First of all, that is a horrifying taxidermy of... Or actually just it's not even taxidermy, I think it's just a felt doll of a rat dressed as the Joker. Finding Rat Jesus. What the... Elioquer?
I think that's the Joker in a different language.
Is that actually
maybe Spanish?
Or is that just someone doing like the
I don't fucking know.
The phonemes of Joker with a Spanish accent?
Maybe.
Next one is Danny DeVito walking in a busy urban environment. 0.1 second after after touching the egg, the worms are kicking. And then this is Dan's new masterpiece, as he's even changed his Steam profile picture to this. Chat the Lasmol increased 1000%. And I couldn't help but notice you haven't changed your Discord. Same thing.
Well, I use that for work, so.
Oh.
I don't like, what the fuck is that? Like.
Will they care?
Maybe they shouldn't, but maybe I'll change it. Yeah.
124 Mold Earth. Haha, wow, that's pretty good. Gronk, eat your heart out.
He loved that one.
Laszlo resisted the dark urge of becoming truly subterranean to avoid would-be egg thieves. The League is now able to talk with the Scarred Flesh Clan. The Blood Skulls. Close enough. True ruler hiding in plain sight is a squid shaman? Question mark. Let's see. Next is Pats. He got some anime images. Were these AI generated or were these actual
No,
things?
this is an actual artist.
Oh, Zen's breakfast of a anime woman eating a cactus whole. Bristles and everything. You're supposed to scrape those off, but good enough. Anime Guy Fieri. The League after slaughtering the fish family. He seems to be in great distress and blood on his face.
Fish blood.
And the last one is woman eating spaghetti, but it's been labeled as worms. and there's a glazed over look in her eyes. 1,000-yard stare. On a side note, Zen failed a hermit riddle for the first time. Honey water does not count. Well, it's not so much that it's honey water as the water part is
The water.
still
yes.
technically mountain runoff. You're gonna need something more exotic. Gronk posted Alex Jones. Click on that. Yeah, that's me. Gronk posting again. Alec posted, although he's not here, so I'll give him in real life inspiration. You can use it whenever you want. Won't someone please think of the children, as you know who that is? Squirrel is saying, "Come at me, bro," and shaking his tail vigorously, and what appears to be a man trapped in dirt trying to claw his way out. He does not seem to be of human descent. Probably mole. Server says bye.
Uses everyone.
124. I'm not reading that French stuff. The only French that I ever read is baguettes and that one auto call out in Monster Hunter.
Roughly, I would like a glass of red wine, please. Thank you.
You Google Translate that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
Speak
Andrew's
French.
fluent, okay? Got this.
On baguette.
Whoa.
In an attempt to ass kiss our way to new friends, Dauntless, Laszlo, and Zen buy booze. Once on the road, we find out which members of the League would make a good parents. Probably none of you. Fish fuck around, fish find out. Bill Cosby.
What do you mean by Bill Cosby, Andrew?
Lots of sleep.
Oh, right, you did cast Sleep
Oh, fuck.
3
Oh,
times.
God.
Alright, back. Oh god.
Dauntless's barbecue with mashed potatoes. It's just like-
Laszlo gets rabies, proceeds to start digging his grave early. Server says Bill Cosby. That does come off as some disassociative
It's your daily
disorder
affirmation
kind
of
thing.
Bill Cosby. Like,
Is this notification on OBS? What do you sell me? Oh, it's a podcast editor. Guys, we're starting a podcast. It's gonna be...
we have Gronk on it. Only if we have Gronk on it.
That thing will be rated fucking M for mature in no time.
Oh, yeah. Great, though.
And then server pops in one day and gets us all cancelled.
Yeah.
Anyways, alright, so let's whip out the dry erase board, and we're gonna go lickety-split today, because we only have, at this point, 2.5 hours. 7:20, 7:39. Zen Quest still needs one more water source. We are currently in the... not the Blood Skulls, we're currently in the Scarred Flesh Tavern / headquarters, headed by what appears to be an orc woman who is vaguely related to... vaguely. At this point, it is vaguely related to Turok because the body is no longer there, so it's not blood-related
Proxied.
anymore.
Proxies.
There are a couple of things that you guys want to do here. First of all, getting the help of the tribe here is going to be a difficult feat. Although you've tried to butter your way up the ladder of hierarchy, the medicine woman / shaman, that is Turok's mom, is not going to be the one who calls the shots around here. Cannot exactly just issue all the gentlemen to muster their stations and to scramble the jets, so to speak. You're gonna have to speak to the head honcho. You just got here, relatively speaking, and you have not really gotten a chance to explore the town, if you can call it that, or the headquarters of the Scarred Flesh to any great extent. In any case, we are still here in the tavern. The person to whom you are currently speaking, Turok's mom, has been receiving all of your gifts in the form of that really fancy wine. We were holding off on certain conversations because the person who was the main dialogue choice person in this was unfortunately being, I don't know, attacked by children or something. Either way, we are back in on 125 on the Frost campaign. Time right now, I believe, would be somewhere around like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you guys covered yourselves in incense and whatnot, so you stink good for a few more minutes. maybe like a couple hours actually. I think it was supposed to last like 8 to 12. So at this time, everyone is standing about. Turok's mother is currently having decursed Laszlo by clonking him on the head with a quarterstaff, has removed his mole curse. You still have possession of the item that causes the woodland critters curse in a bucket filled with ash. So just keep that in mind, that if you are to touch it, you will be risking re-molification or any other creature that I randomly roll into. Could be a bear.
I could totally just like mage hand that into someone's like possession, and then they'll become a mole.
Well, now that we have
what
this
if the
thing,
hand turns into a mole?
now that we have this thing and we can use it, if hypothetically this could work towards that thing I was talking about, where we infect the big brain.
Turn a fucking brain into a mole.
Well, it is a hive mind. I wonder if it would travel
All
back
right.
up
Well, we
the,
need to keep this under lock and key and don't touch it, because yeah, even just touching it is bad. At least we've identified it. That was the price that we had to pay.
Let me see. Do I have anything that could keep that?
Keep in mind, any creature that has immutable form is immune to this curse, because that's what immutable form is. So you can't turn someone's flesh golem or iron golem into a mole.
What's immutable?
Can't be
it's
changed.
form change, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't attacked by children last week. I was attacked by children this week.
Oh,
I'm currently being attacked. So
Yeah, we kind of moved as far as we could with it, Henry. But yeah, I told
yeah,
your
my
mum.
bad. I had a family emergency.
No worries, mate. I told your mum we're in a pub with her. And we gave her wine and we're in the pub. It's about the thick of it. And we got to try to convince other people in this place, but not with a scaremongery kind of like you're all gonna die, because they don't like that. But yeah, that's kind of where we got to. And I'm not a mole anymore. So.
options there. Just keep touching the orb.
It's like gacha. One of them will be a dragon.
Yeah, sure.
That's what the curse tells you. Could totally be a dragon.
As the
Do
display
it.
rates on it, it's 0.001% green dragon,
Pretty cool.
and there's no pity.
Shit.
So as you all stand around, minus Varus, I'm just gonna put him on this crate here.
He's idling.
Who has instead been replaced by Turok. Turok, of course, you see your mother. She doesn't recognize you out the gate just because you are in a different form. The blood relationship is still, technically there, but for your old body, of which you guys are currently, I'm pretty sure, taxiing around like a fucking meat puppet.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Actually,
I would just
speaking
assume it's
about
more
the
like
body,
Death Stranding.
would the body even fit in a bag of holding? I don't know if we actually have it.
Well, generally speaking, it was in bits and pieces because it fell off a cliff. You're gonna have to piecemeal that shit out.
Yeah, it's
Here's
in the
the
bag
arm,
holding.
here's
Yeah,
the leg.
it's like-
The hardest
cool
one, of course, would be the
shoulder piece,
torso, but
Yeah.
if you cut it down vertically, that's horrible.
It's
Alright.
pretty grim. Yeah.
I'll just turn to my mom in Orcish. Beautiful as always, mother. How are you? How you been?
I don't know, stranger, to whom you are calling mother. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, just a normal family reunion between a mom and her son. Unfortunately, I don't have my original body. I think my companions here told you what happened to me and what's been happening to me for the past almost year. And so, yeah, I'm not me. No, I'm still Turok, your boy, but not in my old body.
This is quite possibly one of the worst fairy tale reunions I've ever been a part of. Forgive me just a moment if I don't immediately take your word for it. And she takes out her quarterstaff from behind, comes around the other side of the bar, and gives it a couple of gentle taps on the floor. Meanwhile, her left hand, that's currently not holding the staff, begins to glow with a slightly whitish-blue hue, and she begins to wave it around, causing a bit of mist of the same color to begin apparating from wherever her hand streaks. And eventually, she begins to twirl it around your brow, almost as if she's like applying face paint to you, at which point the smoke begins to accumulate in a little figure, life-size, right next to you, that takes on the form of if you took your old body, removed all of its hair, and stood there like a mannequin.
Huh.
Your spirit still reads the same. It's a blessing to see you again, my son.
Well, it's a blessing to see you too, Mom.
How are things?
I don't have my old body.
No,
so-
I can see that, but I still read your spirit all the same. It is vibrant and beautiful as the day I left you.
Yeah, thanks for taking care of me that time. I honestly thought I was dead.
Wait, we can all see T posing Turok standing next
He's
to his
not
arm club.
T-posing, it's more like A-posing. It's just a little misty mannequin of what would be a disrobed Turok with no hair.
I start like walking around looking at it.
With my huge dong out. Yeah.
Well, that's touching the
Dude.
floor. I'm gonna just like pull Dodo. It's like let him have this. He had to see his
but-
mum. Like,
Yeah, but just think, she could do the same for me.
well, give it a minute. Let him speak. Come on. I sort of pull him over to my table. There's probably beer nuts here.
I actually picked up on your old teachings again, and so I am doing. I forgot what you called the magic, but I like to call it giant again. I picked it up.
Whatever you call it is up to you. I have no writings. This is oral tradition, and you may pass it on however you please. The rest of your friends here, I'm assuming you are in good relations with them, despite that one over there whispering to themselves.
Dawdle's
Yeah.
just staring bug-eyed at like mannequin.
They're all pretty cool. They're all pretty
She waves her
chill.
hand away, and the spirit Turok dissipates. Anyways, I presume that now that you are here, you're requesting our aid in some capacity. Your friends have already debriefed me on what the situation is, and while I would love to help you, as your mother and a woman who wants to maintain her head on her shoulders, if this would be doom-bringing that your allies have brought about comes to fruition. However, I can only warn you that my aid in this will be nothing more than a gentle push in the right direction for the chieftain. But that is going to be up to you, and if you have any honeyed words to spread around, then by all means, spread them.
Well, yeah, it seems kind of grim, to be quite honest with you. The whole Jormungandr business. Actually, one of them has Dad's trench coat, so it's actually one of the main reasons why I'm going. Any other reasons, just really to help them out, but main reason is because they have Dad's trench coat. But yeah, I mean, anything that you could do would be amazing. And ignore that one that's whispering to himself to the other one. I think I know what they're talking. I think they're going to ask you for a different favor.
Let's get to that in just a moment. My aid can come in a variety of ways. I have tinctures and tonics that I typically hand out to the warriors of this clan. If you had a couple of months to undergo the proper rituals, we could get you up to berserking like the rest of them. However, if you were to imbibe the tonics right now, you'd more likely go into a catatonic state than go berserk. That being said, there's training to be able to withstand the negative side effects of the tinctures and not lose yourself entirely. So I can offer more over-the-counter medications and tinctures, but beyond that, I am no longer in fighting shape. Some of my actions have caught up with me, and old wounds that I thought healed over turned out to be more scarring than I believed when I was on the run. A couple of wayward shots to the leg have taken away some of my walking capacities to some extent. I can still go about, but if I were to sprint, I would feel the pain in my leg for probably the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I can imagine, though, that you could probably still kick my ass like I was when I was young.
If I don't need to run about, yes, I still practice all of my martial skills on the fine warriors around this encampment, and generally speaking, if it weren't for the fact that they already have a designated martial teacher, I could probably step in and replace him. That being said, I am more content in dealing with my current studies about the more nuanced aspects of battle. The healing, the helping, and the hurting are all something I can still very much do. But you've grown quite strong. You even have good company with you, so I wouldn't risk a tussle right now.
Now, they're to be quite honest with you, they're probably a pittance to what you were when I was young. Still remember the days that you and my father would tag on me and kick my ass.
It was for love, just say that. And it's grown you into quite a warrior, my son. I am glad to see it, even if you are not the same skin and bones that I'm used to. I can still feel your presence. Now, the rest of your companions here, is there anything that I might be able to help with? Any other curses that need to be lifted?
Actually, since you're talking about curses, I actually want to... I know I can't go back to my old body, but I'd actually like to be not dead anymore. Did they tell you about my soul being trapped in this gem? I'm assuming they did.
Very brief amounts, not too much in terms of the fine details on it. And while I am a medicine woman and can contact long-forgotten spirits, there are a couple of things that are out of the realm of my dimensions.
Oh, okay.
I do have a couple of small things that I might do that would pique your interest. They take some time to fully cast the ritual, but if you'd like to be in your old body, I can change that permanently.
Oh, that would be a blessing, to be quite honest with you. I kind of miss being in my own skin and being able to enjoy drink and...
Well, let me
having other
see about the
pleasures.
fine points of it. Just see what true polymorph action is. Hold on.
I have returned.
Howdy, partner.
Good day,
Had
sir.
Korean barbecue last night, so I ate an ungodly amount of meat.
No,
Schmeat.
I get
And
you.
now imagine what that does to your digestive system.
Well, was
Wow.
it spicy?
Oh, it wasn't that spicy. It's just so much meat.
Pigeons like, get me out of here! Get me out of here!
I've seen how much meat they eat. I'm next.
I'm meat.
Next. Like, I'm chicken.
I'm pretty much chicken. Venom chicken. Oh no, I turned him into a mole accidentally. Mole Rock is his name now.
Let's see. Creature into creature. If you turn a creature into another kind of creature, the new form can be any kind you wish to choose, challenge rating equal to or less than, etc., etc. Target assumes the hit points of its new form, which wouldn't really change. And when it reverts to its normal form, creatures returns to hit points transformed, reverts, blah blah blah. Creature is limited to the actions it can perform in its new form, which is just a different orc. New form has its own spells. You don't have any spells, really. That kind, just the same class. Target gear, meld to new form. Creature into object? Ooh, crazy.
It is
yeah.
Turok, the 2x4 wood piece, like that Ed, Eddie character.
Turok the teacup.
Yeah, it's just two
Teapot.
rocks, like Turok the teacup. It's overarm like
A
barbarian.
new breed of stealth.
I'm just a teacup to some.
Literally pray.
Bringer of death to others.
You look down, it's just like still teacup. Like scary.
It does take an hour. And don't die. Reasons.
Don't dead open inside.
Do you need his old body? So, calories, you
No,
gotta-
it's not going to. I will remold the flesh into the new form. The old body you may dispose of at your leisure.
I'd start taking out the collapsible shovel. You want I should bury it somewhere specific, Turok?
I actually don't know. I was actually just. I guess we should just.
We usually have a funeral pyre here for fallen warriors,
Ah,
if that is
there
more
you go.
appropriate. But I do not require the old body. I'll just be molding the flesh like clay.
I look at Turok.
It will not remove the curse, however, but it will give you some of your old faculties back. You are considered to be not among the living anymore. I surmise that this may give you a new lease on life, pun intended.
No, okay.
We should at least get your like shoulder piece with all the cool razzle dazzle stuff at least out of the rubble. Then you can put it back on, and you're like, oh look, the prince again, for real.
It would be
Unless it was yeah.
quite the scene for your dispatcher to see you stride forth once more with new breath in your lungs. Quite intimidating. I must prepare the ritual, however, and I will not be able to do so for at least another 45 minutes. Go about the town, see who you can speak with. If you need to speak with the chieftain, there are going to be many protocols and pleasantries that must be exchanged first before you get an audience. Keep your head on your shoulders, shoulders straight and square, eye contact to be maintained, and politeness a guarantee. That being said, show no weakness.
Never do.
Alright, I'm going to prepare the ritual. Off with you. Unless your dodgy friend here had one more thing to say.
Dottie.
Well, I mean, you're doing that, so maybe we'll pick up later.
Very well.
Can you just point us to your chieftain at this point?
We should probably talk about the specifics of that before we go there for real.
Alright, since no one's giving me a corpse, I slowly put away the folding shovel.
Callus is just disturbed, pulling out an arm, pulling out two sets of legs.
Whose arm is it?
Is this?
Get the
It's the right arm.
get the shoulder piece. It is just like a shoulder mantle kind of thing, right? If I remember correctly.
I imagine that, like...
That was the bear thing, right?
No, he's got like a cool
Oh.
fucking like I'm the prince of the blood skull thing. Unless I'm remembering incorrectly.
The necklace that he always wears.
Necklace. That was it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Like
lie,
gold,
if you leave
right?
it up to me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold the
Just
mantle,
bling the fuck out.
by the
Well, get
mantle
that out
piece
at
and
least,
shake the arm off.
We'll get that out, Kalos, and then just.
But you're kind of a doctor. You should know better.
You're a
Kind
real
of.
doctor, though.
Bless you.
I'm somewhat of a full-on doctor.
I almost graduated medical school. Don't look for my degree. It doesn't exist.
Sanctus School of Hard Rocks.
I just shake the arm free of the thingy. And then pick the arm up off the floor.
This
Well,
is a
that-
place of eating, but typically speaking, that sort of eating is of other kinds of creatures, and not of my dead son.
There you
Undead.
go. Yeah, geez. So you were saying, like, obviously scaremongering is not the route to go with here. Are there any like,
It rarely is.
of course, I'd maybe go with like the stability route of like bringing more stability to the region, and if Ostia falls, then there may not be further trade, and this is like an act to hopefully secure the future of everyone to be a little bit safer. That might be maybe a safer way to go.
Let me give you a couple of words of advice. Heed them if you will, or not. It's up to you.
Okay.
But if they kick you out and I see you trotting away like a defeated dog with its tail between its legs, don't say I didn't warn you. Heroic and sanctimonious routes will not get you anywhere around these parts. Heroics are the only thing that are going to be more likely to get you dead. That old addict of where the line of stupidity and bravery is, that
Pretty
line
thin. Yeah.
is very, yes. Heroic
But Mother,
edicts,
that's-
not so much.
But Mother, that's like our only thing, though.
Well then, they also
I'm-
say
I'm-
fake it till you make it, son. I do not really care if you fib, as long as it gets you something that you might need and doesn't ultimately hurt us in the end. What I would appeal to is their warrior nature. Honor and pride, and the blooding of your blades is something that they would be more than likely to latch onto. Oddly enough, even with their isolationist viewpoint, the whole defending your territory thing is something they've been doing very well for quite some time, and until they can actually see the present danger directly in front of them, they will not take your word for it. So, again, the fear-mongering is not going to get you anywhere, nor heroics. So, in the same way many of our people in our culture, even outside of our clan, will appeal to, warrior blood flows through all of them.
Oh, so these are libertarian orcs.
Keep your politics out of this.
Just talk about taxes. Drive them fucking nuts.
I heard that they kind of want to tax.
Yeah, the Bandits want to impose a 7% income tax.
What percent? What? Just like fucking go mad.
7% of the tip of my sword.
Yeah, geez, I can't be dealing with this.
If you're looking for the chieftain, look for the largest cauldron smoke.
I don't really know how to proceed with this.
Well, we
Take
could
your time
always-
if you want to. Grab a seat if you need some time to think it over. I would not behoove you to rest for a while and brainstorm a bit.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
You'll
to
get
our-
one chance at this.
Yeah.
Why don't I give you something to wet your whistle while you're thinking? Have a seat, gentlemen.
I
You
sit
can,
down.
you can
Take
sit,
seat.
you can stand. She goes over to the bar and puts down a series of empty tankards and then nozzles all of them in with some sort of ale-colored liquid that she gets from a barrel. Brings it over to your table, places it down. I'm going to get the ritual prepared. I will be back in about 45 minutes. She leaves the tavern entirely. All of her stuff is elsewhere, and you have essentially the tavern to yourselves. There are not any orcs here of the clan, at least.
They're godly orcs. They don't drink at this time.
Yeah, well, it's almost 5 o'clock. But at this time, there are no orcs from the clan here, and not a single soul to be seen. So if you wanted to start stealing from the tavern, I guess now's the time.
Oh wow, nothing's here anymore.
We brought $600 wine. Let's steal $40 booze.
Exactly.
All the
You'll
cutlery.
never know.
Reverse gravity on the whole bar. Break all the stuff. Okay. This is a tough one. This is a really
Well,
tough one.
If we're going with wetting their blades, we could always just tell them that we might face a god and destroy the religion.
I think that's a bit much in one go.
And they're atheists.
That god wants to tax you, by the way, as well.
Exactly.
Definitely wants to.
Oh man, we're libertarian. We're dealing with libertarian orcs. Even if we pull like even if we fake a terrorist attack, they'll sniff it out instantly.
They'll know. They'll know. So obviously
That
their
mudslide
territory.
was an inside job.
Oh God, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so they don't want to go with the old, you're gonna die at some point if you don't help. That's not a good way to go about this. We need to make it think it was their idea to do that, and maybe it's a good thing. So blood of the blades, I agree with for sure, and retaining pride. But we don't want to be like, goading them and be like, oh, you're a pussy.
You're a
you
pretty
that's-
bitch.
Yeah, that's not the way to go because it might, not be good. We need to make them aware of what the hell's going on. because that's going to give them context. Whether it's like, could we get your blessing to go do this? Could we? I don't know.
No, we don't need their blessing. We're still gonna go kick ass.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to think to get some aid at least. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Zen? You got any ideas on this?
I'm not the diplomatic type, so I haven't fought anything yet.
'Cause I've got the numbers. I've got the numbers of how many folks are over there. And it's like 38 bandits, a lamia, a load of beasts, and some like caged reptiles. That's what we've been able to get.
Well, if they're warriors, maybe if they're warrior type, just promise them an epic battle. I don't know.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they are more worried about self-preservation, we could point out that these other orcs are like constantly trying to expand territory.
And
And it's
take over
kinda-
our things.
But then
That's like
my-
scaremongering.
like my mom said, they've been taking care of their territory very well. So
And they haven't
that
seen
wouldn't
it,
They're
so
not
they
afraid
wouldn't
of
believe
that.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean it in a scaremongering way, but that's true.
We could maybe get a few about, hey, we're going to resolve this situation, and maybe it's like a training exercise. Do you want to come with, and help vanquish some rivals near Ostia? I mean, that way it's not like, oh, they're really bad. It's like, oh, you want to, train.
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a badass. You guys,
You want to come along? Yeah, could work. I don't know.
I'm gonna go kick some ass.
That's not as like scary that way. It's not like this is. Oh my god! Chainsaw. What the
I gotta get some.
Oh, that was your
Grease on the-
chair.
That was
I thought that was like
actually-
a.
No, it was my table actually.
Okay.
I was raising it, or rather,
Okay. Could be something like that. I don't know. Maybe like we're going out here. We've got a few folks already, and we want to go.
We're expecting a big, awesome fight,
Yeah.
and we'd like you to join us in kicking ass and taking names and chewing bubblegum.
And
Oh
maybe,
yeah, by the way, they might be encroaching our territory, but we don't really know that part yet.
yeah.
So we'd like you to be there for preventative measures and
And the spoils of war.
the spoils of war.
You can pillage them to shit. Because all we really need is the plates and whatever the Lammy has been hoarding. But
Yeah, maybe that is a promise them a nice battle, some pillaging,
Oh, also,
and you get to secure your future.
I wasn't here. How was their armor? Do they wear any armor like the warriors?
we have not. Well, they were all like pretty quick and stealthily appeared on me when I was becoming a mole. But they're pretty low armor. They don't. I think they just wear like paints and stuff.
What about their weapons?
Well, we can go have a look. They might have like a smithy or some kind of craft.
Yeah, well, let's look around.
We could promise them in exchange for
Better
couple-
equipment.
Yeah, exactly, better equipment.
I mean,
Spoils of war. Of
I've got those
course, but-
potions for them as well. Like if that sweetens the pot a little bit, but like just to help in this fight if you'd like. I think that might be a good way to go about it. It's not scary. It's like giving you an opportunity to do some more live combat training and cool battle.
I mean, yeah, it could be just a form of payment. We'll pay you in armor and weapons if you help us.
We could just say that, hey, we'd like to buy your service, and by paying you, we'd get you better equipment and the whatever spoils of war you'd like, besides the things that we need. Everything else is up for grabs. Also, what are we doing with the plates again? I always keep forgetting. Is it a ship? Is it an airship? I keep forgetting this part.
Yeah.
This is Turok, by the way. He doesn't
Yeah.
really know what the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Something like that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got I was writing down that spell the other day, and that's going to be able to put them in, and then we can transport them with these. Like before, we had a really like logistic problem, but now it's That was solved. So, and they've got like a TP hut that they've been turning orcs into snake orcs, and that's obviously not good given the recent context of your recent scrap with your Duvek. So this is a preventive measure for that as well, but we don't need to cover that bit for them. That's like other clan politics, but yeah, that's the main goal with those. And it makes Ostia safer because having a expansionist orc tribe nearby is not great.
Okay. So I think since the person that can persuade people to doing things should be the one that takes the lead on this one.
Say no more. Yeah.
Not me, of course. Talk about the
Clearly.
other princess. The
The
princess.
former orc.
The more
Former
diplomatic
orc.
type, yeah.
I think you should really go in there and do your swagger, princess. I think you're good. I
Do
think
we
you're
have
probably.
any things to help make this even more convincing with magic, maybe?
Callus pops out. Actually, yeah, I have a thing that I could give her. It has to be like right before she goes in, though, so it kind of might look sneaky, but I could do something.
I imagined you like popping in, like doing that. Adjust your glasses. Like, actually,
Yeah, I have something.
Oh, are you gonna finish that orc tribe? Okay, yeah. I mean, just anything to enhance this. So our playbook essentially is like we're going to be going having a big fight. There's promise of a sick ass battle.
I'll suck your dick.
They have Paradise Punch over there, and they're threatening
They
to
have
spread
Calypso.
it. They're threatening to spread it to the people of Ostia. All right, as you know, it's minging. All right, suck your dad.
Yeah, it's minging. My God.
That 20. I don't even need a roll.
I will say that I was considering adding minging to my vocabulary at work to see if it would spread among the children.
Stop it, Adam. Stop poisoning the youth.
They'd be like, "Oh, my friend Dan told me about this cool word, minging." Oh God. I think that's probably our best bet on it. Something like that. So let's do like a rehearsal or something. Okay, Dorlus, picture Zen. Zen is a glorious orc war chief. Sit on the
Yes.
chair. Like, okay, look, you're.
I'll stand. I gotta tower
Stand on the
over
table,
him.
yeah. Okay,
Yes.
and then what would you say? Okay, doors open or cauldron in front of you. There they are.
Well, first of all, before we do that, I think.
Oh, hello.
Well, no, I was going to say it may behest for me to just wear the more official armor look.
Sure, go for it.
The warrior look, yes.
But you're shining. You shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah. Do they not like light?
No, I thought that's what you
I
were
didn't
wearing.
like light a couple of hours ago, but yeah.
How's that warm tasting, by the way?
Fucking gross.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I didn't have my faculties about me more
Fucking
than
weirdo.
That's some good protein there.
it was good when I thought it was good, but in reality, not very good.
I think you have to clean it before it
I
actually gets good protein.
nearly used Move Earth to go very deep under the ground, and I've resisted that.
What if you found some like giant worms?
Well,
It's not too cold, right? Because like the way
it's
I
the summer.
envision. Okay, no, because the way I envision it is like when it's cold, I'm wearing the cold weather gear over my armor, and then when it's not, like when we were in Sanctus, it's just like, yeah, armor. Just armor.
You would probably be hot either way, Dauntless, but yeah, I guess whatever you want to present yourself like, go for it. But all right, are you ready now? We'll give you help you with your armor for like 5 minutes and that, and you like pep talking you about like this fake version with Zen. All right, okay, and scene, and then the doors open, cauldron.
Dan, you say that when you're closing the scene. You don't say that when you're opening the scene.
8 charisma. And go. Doors open, or tent flaps open. Cauldron in front. Orc chief. The league walk in.
Give him the old chin bow.
You do realize, before you start, they don't know what the fuck that means, right?
Well, there's politeness.
No, I realize that,
She said be polite. That's like a politeness, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Hello there. This is
Oh, I thought.
Dauntless.
Okay.
Oh, this is Princess Hualong of the Modromoth family and of Laszlo's Pearl Divers. And then, yeah, they go.
I kind of pat Laz on the shoulder. You don't need to hype me up.
Okay.
She is hype.
'Cause I-
And
Scene.
in this corner.
And
'Cause I
3,
think-
2, go. We'll go again. Flaps open, cauldron, Zen, but as a chief. Silence from Laszlo. Holding the flap open. There you go.
All right, deep breaths all around. Just the finer points of the argument we're making is that they should come fight with us because they gain from it, and we'll kick ass.
Wait, are you going to be telling this to the chief?
No, but I'm.
You're telling us. Oh,
I'm
so
just
we're not
saying.
in the scene. So Laszlo, restart that.
All right. Pull close flaps.
There you
Push
go.
Dauntless
Okay.
out. All right. Zen, be an orc chief. Okay. Cauldron and all.
Look,
3.
relax. We're not a theater troupe. We
Yeah,
don't
but
need-
we're trying to set this mood, Dottie. Come on.
Set them up. Boom, boom, boom. There's some drums in the distance, I guess, or
Jesus.
smoke billowing. Oh shit! All right, open up. Boom,
Bring
we're
it
in.
here, kids.
You're in. You're in the scene. And action. As I'm looking at Dawdle. Don't do that when it happens.
I'm just giving you like the slowest blink. Like,
Well, okay, all right. Think of it. Last time we had some shit diplomacy before when we were in like the Jarl's Longhouse. Bad things happened. Okay, so this is just. I'm not going to be speaking this time. We need some formalities. We need to be polite. We need to get the points across effectively. And if this is just a little prep, and then it's still
I appreciate prep. I'm just.
well, prep. We only get one shot of this.
We don't need the theatrics, though.
I thought it would help the scene.
It's appreciated and duly noted, but all right, just
Amateurs.
again, just to go over it real quick, we're trying to convince them that they should come with us because we will fight things, and they can gain from it materially.
And martially, they can train. There's a form of training as well. If they wanted to hone their skills further.
Okay, and we're not bringing up the esoteric "let's fight God" thing.
So hone your skills. Spoils.
User joined your channel.
Now, should I make any sort of promise that we will compensate them with armor and weapons?
We can do. Yeah.
Well, I look at Kalos. You had mentioned this. I don't know.
No skills, spoils of battle. I mean, we could also ask them as well.
Well,
Is
it's
there
the
any
spoils of battle they're getting. Not,
spoils of
not
battle?
we're
Yeah.
gonna give them
So
stuff.
hone your skills, spoils of battle, promise of a sick ass. We won't use that word for word. A grand battle. There we go.
Well, we could just tell them that they could take any weapons they want.
Well, I mean, we've got funds. I suppose we could ask them as well. Like, is there anything within the community that you are looking for? We need a new ice box or whatever.
Going down to the corner store. You want anything?
Yeah, like we've got reach, we've got resources. If there's something that they need to further aid their seclusion after this, then that could be something we could throw into the.
All right, we
into the
could
pile.
promise them 80-20 split of all the spoils. We're really more after the plates than any sort of weapons.
Yeah, we want the TP structure.
Now,
We should not say 80 split of the spoils. We should probably say something like, we will pay you handsomely and offer further aid to help the.
Well, the reason I say the split of the spoils is because if we come out and just say we want these metal plates, and then it may become an awkward question of why do you want these instead of swords and knives and weapons. Whereas if we just say we want it 80-20 and then fight ensues, and then we're just like, oh, these plates look like good building material. We want these. We don't really want the weapons.
Well, that's like.
and swords. Do you get what I mean? It's just like
Kind of.
because then we have to explain the whole thing, and then we're getting into the brain bug territory. And
Sure. Hone your skills, spoils of battle, promise of a grand battle, and
80-20 split.
80-20 split. Then we get in the 20, and then other than that, we can offer further aid to the clan to be determined on what your needs are collectively. Okay. This sound. Where's that fucking pigeon? I'm just looking around the cave, like where is
Rock
it?
dove.
Where is the rock dove? Sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go with the points. Hone your skills, spoils of battle, promise of a grand battle against some cool enemies that you can train with against. 80-20 split. We can offer further aid to the clan to be determined on what your needs are collectively. They're pretty strong points, I think. What do you reckon, fellas? I look to Zen, still in character as an orc chief.
Sounds good to me.
Kalos, Turok, all beans, Krios. What do you reckon?
You said 70-30?
I would say 80-20.
Oh, 80-20. Well, the thing is, right? Or what about the guys that from the clans? Aren't they gonna want any spoils of loot?
I paid them already. I paid them money for the job, so
Oh, okay.
that's their spoils.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, yeah, I guess so. The thing is, though, our 20 would be the plates, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, unless you want a bunch of snake swords.
I mean, probably
we don't know like the
yeah,
full extent of what's in there.
Callus
So this
pops,
whole split thing is a bit.
Callus pipes up. The snake lady probably has some cool magical stuff, so that probably would be included on our 20, no?
We'll see. The primary goal here is to get the plates, though.
True.
We get eyes on the prize.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Well, as long as we just what do they say? Straight back, wide shoulders, confidence. Let's let Daedalus speak.
All right, Turok, take me to your leader.
It's not his leader.
I'm not.
Wow,
I'm
that
not
was-
in this. I'm not in this clan. Dottie, have you not been paying attention this entire time?
This is scarred flesh, dude. This is not blood skull.
Look, I just wanted to say that, okay?
Oh,
Not cool, bro.
it's racist, dude. Okay, not cool.
I was orc once. Okay.
We
I have the card.
I can say it.
So, Zen jumps off the table and is no longer playing the part of the orc chieftain. You all right yourselves and vacate the premises, looking for the chieftain.
biggest cauldron we were supposed to look for. Is there like a big tent or something, or a big structure?
You can go outside of the dinghy and
I'm gonna have a look. That's a kind of cool map, dude.
Is it the only cauldron you've modeled?
actually, there's two.
50-50 split.
One of them
Excuse
is
you?
one of them is on a broken bridge,
Flip a
and
coin.
the other one has a guy in front of
2,
it.
3, 4. Carlos, do the thing.
Make me
Dottie,
sexy.
Dottie, come here.
Huh?
And I'm gonna take out a perfume bottle that I just fucking pull out of my ass,
Whoa,
Ew.
don't. Whoa.
and
Pocket.
Whoa,
prison.
wait,
and
Ah.
and you have enhanced ability to your charisma. You have advantage on charisma saving. Hold on. Charisma. You have advantage on charisma checks. Eagle's Splendor.
I'm just saying, if I was talking to an eagle, I wouldn't really be like, very
Wow, he's really
convinced.
convincing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
but
tackles the
they're
chief. What up,
they're
my guy? How
magnificent creatures, though. That's why it's called Eagle's Splendor.
Yeah, I would have taken a ferret instead.
That's because you're biased.
Yeah, I am
Mr.
biased,
Ferret
alright?
LLC.
Yeah.
I should change my username on TeamSpeak just to be a ferret or something. A
I'm
ferret.
I
assuming
am
join.
Ferret.
I'm gonna. Well,
It's not like anyone ever calls me by my username.
whoa! Is
Don't
that
start.
Whoa, is that Asian sensation
Alright,
or the famous
Henry, take one psychic damage in real life.
or the
Take an L,
famous
sir.
rice picker
Okay.
of old?
I like
Of
that one,
old.
but it probably
Old.
is.
your esteemed?
I still
rice
like the rice picker one, especially whenever I can get it without any numbers.
But what about your Epic Game Store name, Adam?
Which one was that again?
What's
my...
Oriental?
Oh yeah! That one's good too!
What a throwback.
Honestly, that makes me kind of want to use the Epic Game Store even more now, because I have a funny username on that one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but if you play any multiplayer game, you're going to start getting reported.
Come on. Server had worse, I think. Did he get reported? Wait,
His
actually,
name-
no,
his
he
name
got
Epic
reported
Game Store
for-
server!
oh,
He
is
got
it?
reported for server, I want to say.
Why, because you tried to, like... Well, he wasn't impersonating a moderator or anything.
No, but they accused him of it.
I am the law.
Because his name was Server Mod at one point.
Ah.
Well, then, that's on the fucking store to not let people make usernames like that. Or, like,
True.
in the overly sensitive, profanity filter in Souls games, where you can't have Knight.
That is so fucking funny still. Or Assassin.
Because, like, there was this guy who was like, cosplaying as Knight Artorias, but so he just said K asterisk 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 HT Artorias. Because if you spell Knight, it's N-I-G in the middle.
That's very foolish.
Well, and Knight is a starting class, so that's even more funny. So, Eagle Splendor is buffing you right now. You go to the Cauldron Smoke, at which point you can see an individual not inside of a tent, so your roleplay is already losing its efficiency.
Laszlo sweats visually. Oh, fuck, there's no tent flap.
There's also no one standing on a table.
Oh, shit. Why, to emulate the height. Okay, shoulders broad. Let's walk behind the princess.
Cat stride.
Cat stride. Yeah. She's right over there. There you go.
The individual is looming, both hands on the edge of the cauldron and peering deep into it. His breathing is extremely deep, as you can see him inhaling the fumes on purpose. The slightly greenish and purple hue coming from this thing denotes a very strong, intoxicating aroma, and potentially even some magical components. And Laszlo jumps in the cauldron.
Ah, my skin! No.
Is it morning or afternoon?
It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't jump in the car. I want to wait here.
No takesies backsies.
Daslo flavored.
Tastes like old.
Laszlo weed.
Ugh.
No.
You approach the guy and get right up in his face.
It looks like Duvak.
What are you talking about?
Good
Wait a
evening.
minute.
I say this in
Turok just
Orcish.
lunges.
There he is. Get him. Hold me back.
I'm gonna talk in Orcish. So I say good evening.
The individual removes his hands from the edges of the cauldron and looks up. His vision darts in a very quick motion from peering into the cauldron to making eye contact directly with you. He then begins to slowly upright his posture, and he is noticeably pretty tall. He is almost hitting 7 foot, and if he had heels on, maybe even higher. But he's not wearing heels.
He's got stilts on.
Wait, I'm sorry. How tall is he?
He's about to hit 7 foot.
God damn it, Turok. Oh wait, no, Turok is shorter. Nah,
Shit,
damn it.
he's Laszlo. Look
5'11" versus 6'0".
Yeah,
6'9", excuse
6'8"
me.
Laszlo Chad over here, thin frame bitch versus this guy that's like just been puffing paint or whatever he's doing.
It kind of looks like that. However, his physique does not look like any kind of crackhead. He is more of a Mr. Universe kind of thing.
Oh hell yeah!
He is wearing very little in terms of actual clothing, just save for a loincloth for decency's sake. However, he is the most scarred-fleshed individual you've ever seen. Probably about 55% of his body that is exposed is scarification, and the rest of it is covered in regular scars from battle.
Is it like arted, or is it just like badass scars, or is it like scarified like tattoos kind of stuff?
They are the last one. They are
Okay.
purposely made to be in a particular design. For example, around the face, it almost creates like that football player black streak thing underneath his eyes.
Yeah.
Around his arms, each one begins to curl around each bicep till eventually it leads into what is presumably looks almost like a snake, Ouroboros eating its own tail.
Snakes. Okay.
Looking at him, are these self-inflicted scars for like artistic purposes, or is it just like happenstance?
The scars are a combination of on-purpose ones and a couple received in actual combat. As he unhunches himself from the cauldron, he takes a nearby tankard and dips it halfway into the drink. Taking out its contents and swirling it around, begins to pour its contents onto his hands, and then begins to rub them together, and then, kind of like me applying lotion, kind of dabs his cheeks up with the mixture, causing it to dribble down his cheeks. And there's almost a sizzling sensation as it makes contact with his flesh. But he doesn't seem to wince. If anything, it looks like he's getting a very deep tissue massage.
There's no goddamn tissue left.
Witnessing this firsthand, is this like, am I able to tell if this is acidic as it burns his flesh?
I'm glad you asked. Make a London simulator check.
Medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in a group in Darktide yesterday, Dan, and we were all using knives, and the first thing that someone said is, "Hey!"
England. License.
Okay, and I got 20, not natural.
It is very acidic, and you probably shouldn't drink it.
Or don't jump.
Breathing in the fumes like that, does that burn your lungs? Is that purposeful?
Everything has a purpose, including our current conversation. What brings you before me?
Oh, yes. On behalf of the League, I am Hulong, also known as Dauntless, and I wanted to enlist you and your clan to fight some orc raiders. We're looking to... I mean, again, we're looking to make the region safer, but that's kind of immaterial for you guys. We would give you an 80-20 split of any sort of weapons, armor we find, and we hear you're up for a good fight. Does damaging your lungs like that help with breathing fumes, like let's say toxic fumes in the middle of a fight? Does it help gird you for that?
Breathing in the fumes does not gird me from anything. It is traditional.
Well, what I'm at, it's in the same way that you would take poison ahead of time to prepare your body for poison or for more poison and maybe lessen the effect. Does that have a similar effect on your lungs?
This concoction is used to bolster our blood for battle. It has the same properties of deep breathing exercises.
I'm like staring at the cauldron.
Now consider the rest of your conversation. This split. Who is receiving which portion? Are we to receive the meager 20?
No, you would take the 80. If we're asking for your help, we can't ask for more than that. There's only about 5 of us versus your entire clan.
Whom were these foes you pit us against?
Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm like completely blanking out. Give me a second.
It's a group of Furbies.
Can't believe I don't
They're
know. It's like I don't know. why-
non-libertarian.
Communist fuckers.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, no, they'd actually like communists. Democrats.
Democrats. Ah,
They're
what did I
taxing
say?
the people, like taking their lives.
Or bandits of Jormungandr cult. There you go. That's right.
I don't know why I completely blanked on that. I'm sorry.
He says that.
They're bandits of the Jormungandr cult. They're working with a Lamia.
And what spoils would we be looking forward to?
Predominantly weapons and armor. We had heard
We
that
do
they...
not wear armor.
Very well. Weapons, we're looking more for... I mean, the armor we could take. And then... in terms of money, we're looking more for something to help... Oh, jeez, I'm blanking again. What the fuck is wrong with my brain today?
Didn't have your coffee.
I did have my coffee.
Well, you...
The
Remember
decaf.
Okay, I'm also not
Did you
fucking
remember?
around.
I mean, if you made it, I don't know, but did you remember to drink it?
I also don't have to fuck around with like any like Python shit with Steam Deck either. I'm just like completely blank.
Frazzled.
It's been a week.
Sorry.
It's been a hell of a week.
Well, they're also known for pillaging the roads nearby and accosting various
Well, no,
rich people.
he's just asking what we get out of it. I'm just trying to shore up my...
Yeah, but they may have stocks there from their escapades that you can freely take. Amongst other things, I'm sure.
We have stock in Ostia. Dow Jones is up 20%. Actually, 20%'s a lot. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me tape that back.
The moon. Dogecoin.
Again, I'm sorry to do this again. What the town that we spend so much goddamn
Ostia?
time in?
Ostia?
No, not Ostia.
Solholm.
Solholm, thank you.
That's the capital. Yeah.
Primarily, we heard that they had very valuable building resources for and as natives of Solholm, we're looking to shore it up after it was assaulted some time ago. That's primarily what we're looking for. So, as I said, weapons, 80-20. We're looking for mostly building materials, maybe some armor for the guards of Solholm. But the larger problem for us is the threat, and for you, we will compensate you.
This Solholm. We do not care about the fortifications of some far-off civilization. If their walls fall, it is because their own strength cannot fortify them. We only care about keeping our own people safe.
Understood.
Absolutely, we'll be right there with you.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to care about Solholm at all. That's not your problem. But again, we will compensate you with anything else we find there. And if we can wipe these bandits out, the more the better. It's a good fight. They have some sort of snake-like appendages, so it's something kind of interesting.
You all have a smell about you. It is a very familiar scent. One of our alchemy trainers uses that concoction.
Yes, we are familiar with both Festus and Festus's relative. Yes.
The proprietor, as she likes to go by.
Yeah.
She has not given you her name. This is a boundary that you have not crossed and shows an amount of distrust between you and she. Keep that in mind.
Understood.
What we would want
Mhm.
is to ensure a steady supply of alchemical ingredients. Wherever it is you are from, you will secure us in exchange for our arms. A lifeline to any alchemical vendors that you come across on this continent.
We can make that work.
I can teleport around magically as well, so if it's a matter of securing routes and stuff from far and wide and getting stock back, can be arranged for sure. Additionally, ahead of time, I went ahead and purchased a variety of potions to bring with alongside the corpse weed, which you may be aware of. But yeah, that sounds amazing.
In addition, we will also accept the spoils of war from the fallen. You may keep your armor and weapons. We will take what we deem to be of use to us. That includes if this tribe that we are going to be slaughtering has any ingredients being grown, exotic animals to be butchered, or any sundries that they are currently storing away, we will take as our payment. If they have any riches in the form of gold, jewelry, and gems, we will take that as well. For the
Understood.
purpose of trade and commerce.
Understood.
Yeah, sounds good. Brilliant.
Now,
Again,
I am going to question you on proximity matter. Why do you want these foes felled? Besides the safety of your own borders, warriors do not only hold their homestead as their primary source of inspiration. I do not care about the walls of the cities. This individual soldier who wields the blade has their own wants and needs. Tell me, why do you fight?
In general, I fight because other people who can't fight for themselves need someone to fight for them. And that's good enough for me.
I fight to get more powerful over time. I'm long lived and want to keep at the craft.
Your friends cowering behind you are not immune to this question.
I turn around.
He
Guys,
gestures to the rest of the party who are standing T-posing in the back.
Oh yeah, Zen, go first.
I like bees.
Got my 3 beers. Beer, bees,
Bees.
and boobs.
That's a pretty
Honestly,
good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Beers,
just-
beer, bourbon. I tell him I fight for my future.
which is boobs, beer. Pretty pretty cool, man.
Callus pipes up. I just need to get a lot more stronger to fight for my people. And Tarak, I need to get stronger to fight the person that took my clan away from me.
I see. So, I would advise all of you who are trying to attain strength of arms, strength of character, and will. Consider a brief, one-time invitation to this clan. Under our training and tutelage, you will attain a warrior spirit, the ability to use our concoctions, and access to our traditions.
I need to do drugs.
Do
They're
drugs,
the good
fight
kind.
there.
Oh, okay.
Those of you who are fighting for the little man, the one who cannot defend themselves, you should look not to coddling the weak. Consider making them strong as well. When your doors are being beaten down, and your arm is not strong enough to hold a sword, your life is as good as forfeit if you are to wait for someone else to save you. We do not respect those who save others out of anything more than keeping a strong head on their shoulders and strong warriors behind your walls. Kindness only gets you so far in this world.
He takes a small gesture and points back to the cauldron, not with his finger, but just by turning his upper body and facing towards it. The bubbling cauldron begins to simmer, almost teetering on the edge of spilling outwards. He then takes his tankard that he was using before and dips it in, filling it almost to the brim, and he holds it in both hands in front of him very ceremoniously. He almost looks like he's about to drink it before he grabs something nearby on a nearby pedestal, and it looks like a fistful of dried herbs that begins to crumble in his hands until it almost forms, like dry autumn leaves, crunchy leaves, and begins to sprinkle it on top. Almost looks like he's putting like cinnamon on a cappuccino almost, but
I got an
acid.
order here for
Nice.
Draugalus Dos. It's like saying his name wrong. The Starbucks order. Oh, jeez.
The brew goes from its original tincture to that of a murky, greenish black. Almost looks like an ichor of some kind from a decaying creature almost. And he begins to swirl it around in his hand, allowing it to brew more intensely.
Allow me to demonstrate one of the key abilities of our clan. Something seen only by our foes moments before they die. You will have the pleasure of witnessing it and walking away with inspiration in your hearts.
He then drinks it. The whole thing in one big gulp.
Chug jug. Did it. Oh.
He then casts the tankard aside, it crashes to the floor and breaks into tiny little splinters. His body begins to glow, and each scar on his body begins to emanate a purplish-red hue to it, until eventually it looks like someone has been dripping like candle wax that's been mixed with food coloring and a glow stick, and it's like emanating from his scars. His face begins to almost, not quite contort, but he goes from a relatively stoic, stern resting face to that of someone who is going through some sort of like a berserker phase. His brow furrows, his teeth become clenched to the point where he's almost bleeding from his gums of how hard he's clenching his teeth. Don't show his dentist. He then begins to almost, with rippling muscles, begins to almost enlarge. Not to the same extent that the actual enlarge spell does itself, but the first thing that Laszlo you probably think of, does this stack? His body begins to grow almost like his fingernails extend to almost claw-like shapes. His back begins to widen to a point where he would completely block a door frame by just standing there. And his muscles begin to bulge in such a way that it almost looks like, you know those guys who inject themselves with silicone and oil to make themselves look bigger? But
Yeah.
it's natural, I swear.
Natty.
And he begins to have this almost hot air exuding from him. Those in close proximity can feel it, almost as if you just stepped into a sauna. Thankfully you're heat resistant, so you don't begin to just profusely sweat. But you surmise that if Laszlo is any closer,
I got my heat ring on.
Laszlo loses his eyebrows.
I got my heat ring on. I can take it.
So he's like venting heat.
he is actively venting. Yes, kind of sus. You know?
And another thing, I fucking hate this. Like, whoa.
He then goes over to the cauldron and he picks the whole thing up. Generally speaking, it is the type of cauldron that you surmise in terms of transport. You either need like a beast of burden or you need to like roll it around in order to move it. He grabs it with one hand and lifts its contents, including all the liquids inside. So cauldron weight plus liquid. He lifts it high over his head and then almost like he's gonna like Gatorade himself with it. But
Gary Laszlo. And
but he just lifts it over his head as a show of demonstration of strength and gently puts it down. There's almost a resounding thud as he replaces it onto its little fireplace there. And he grabs a nearby rock and chucks it so far over your heads that it cascades over a mountain, and you don't hear its impact for at least
Dude, he killed Doovie.
for at least a hang time of about 25 to 30 seconds.
Holy shit.
You can see that the breathing has changed from regular breathing to a almost frantic, almost hyperventilating style. His arms begin to twitch as if he is trying to get his next fix of cocaine or something. But he begins to change his posture back to his original stance. It seems he is very much in control, despite him looking like he is doped up like a rabid fiend or creature who is inflicted with rabies. And then changes his posture and begins to exhale. You can see that it actually is visible to the naked eye as a series of plumes of smoke emanate from his nostrils and mouth as he exhales. It also has its same fiery temperament, probably dialed up almost threefold. Again, you surmise that if you were not heat resistant, this would probably be the equivalent of like almost scalding your skin from a hot tea kettle. And his body begins to relax and go back to its original state.
Does breathing the cauldron fumes so breathing the cauldron fumes allow you to maintain the and I start motioning the fluid in yourself for longer, correct?
Obsessed with this.
There are many secrets that our tinctures and imbibements will install in you, should you choose to take us upon our open invitation. If you accept now, we can begin the process. It is long, arduous, and painful. However, you will come out to the other end as strongest you will ever in your lifetime. Even scrawny individuals such as your friend here can
I
find
like
a
looking
big
behind.
house.
Like, yeah.
Everyone's looking at each other.
Yeah, I'm looking behind. Like,
Who's
yeah.
he talking about? Yeah.
Aye. Yeah. What do you
Callus is
mean?
kind of swole now, alright? Leave him alone.
I wasn't talking about Callus. I probably mean some other person.
Seeing as no one is willing to acknowledge their own weaknesses, I guess you all just look around like a bunch of pigeons.
I mean, that's kind of what he
Who?
wants, right? Like,
Who's weak?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, Turok actually steps up too.
I'm a monk, so I'm essentially a hippie anyway. So I'll drink the fancy water.
DM, I now take Tavern Brawler and gain fucking
Watch
plus
out.
14
Watch
to my
out,
fucking
Will.
unarmed strikes.
You die.
Or whatever the fuck. I don't even...
I think at his
just
level,
fucked, right?
I don't think Tavern Brawler. I think the only thing that Tavern Brawler would do is just add the
It does
His
do that.
grapple gets really scary. I think that was what that
that
would do.
and he picks up the mug, his tankard that he's drinking is an actual deadly weapon now instead of it dealing like
It
one
extends
You
just
can
from
hit
himself
people with a
out
mango.
to like,
Exactly.
I could just throw mangoes at people.
B.
I could actually just pick up my bees and throw them like knives.
So the scars act as vents for when you inhale the concoction, and then your lungs are able to keep it within you longer by practicing over the cauldron. That's interesting.
You are quite astute at this. Most of the words you are speaking are true. Most of them. However, the complications of you accepting the warrior spirit into you are not something you can easily dispose of once you begin to imbibe. There is no going back.
No
The
take
scars will
backies.
never heal. But that is on purpose.
Well, yeah, if they were to heal over, then you wouldn't have a vent. You'd probably explode. I look at Turok and Zen. You would probably explode. So, yeah, I'm not going to be able to unscar you. You probably wouldn't win anyway.
Are there any tinctures or elixirs that benefit a caster type?
You should go to a different clan if that's what you're asking.
Do stab a lot though as well with weaponry.
That's a different type of inflicting pain. The only casters we have include the medicine woman and a few lingering abilities that a few of us have picked up over the years, but they are not our primary means of dealing pain. In fact, it is quite distracting once you are in a berserker state to cast. That is to say, it is nigh impossible.
You can't cast spells while raging, so...
Would I gain any benefits from taking this, or just not a Laszlo thing? Not just from the baseline, not
Yeah,
just
'cause,
imbibing.
Callus would like to cast stuff too, and he can't rage, so he can't do this shit.
If there's like a net benefit without having to do the imbibing of additional stuff, then that just sounds great. But
I want the drugs, but none of the bad effects, please.
Well, life is all about drawbacks.
I thought you were gonna say life is all about drugs. I'm not sure why. Alright, so this process is not, you don't get all the benefits at once. You do need to scarify yourself, not to the same extent that the chieftain here is. His is about 50 to 55% of his body is scarred. As you go along the process, you will need to 1. Inflict the wounds upon yourself and do the process of allowing it to scar over, which are permanent.
Oh, so I can't vent through my head scars?
No. They need to be special
that would be kind of
scars.
cool.
You can ventilate through just your breathing, but that is a technique that they need to teach. What is that fucking JoJo thing with the breathing?
The ripple.
But the primary way of ventilating is by your scars. If you do not have any scars, you will constantly take fire damage every single turn that you are doing their berserker state. And, if you do have the ventilation, it's fine.
This reminds me of an oddly specific thing.
Great.
Hyper focus on one thing.
So what does the drug do to us? Tell us. What
I
are
mean,
me and Zen getting
Well, it's
into?
not just the drug
Hey,
necessarily, is it?
it's
Is there
drugs.
what's the whole thing about it? The drugs is
well,
part of it, I guess.
it is part of it. There's a physical therapy, essentially, version of it, and once it commingles with the drugs, it enhances it further. So you essentially have two different states: sober and blazed out of your fucking mind. Doing all this stuff for the chieftain will increase your strength score to, if it's not already at 15, it'll bring it up to 15, just baseline. If it's already at 15 or above, it's a +1, can overcap. And you have the abilities associated with, I believe it is the bear totem, not the damage resistant part. The part where you have increased pull, push, and carry weight capacity. I believe it is triple.
Mm-hmm.
And includes also jump distance and height, I suppose, which is also distance. Jump by default, as if you have the ability of the enhanced jumping spell active at all times. And you are resistant to any effects such as what's it called? Any charm effects. If you're already resistant to it, it doesn't turn it into immunity. But
Okay, so that's just the baseline.
that's baseline without drugs.
Taking a little Laszlo from a 6 strength to a 15 is pretty promising.
That's value. That's a lot of
yeah,
value.
that is a lot. I'm gonna take it.
I go
Yeah,
from 14 to 15.
Is there any
I go.
drawbacks
What do I
to
go
me
to? I
taking
go
this
from a
step?
nice 5.
Oh, actually, wait. If I go to 15 plus the strength gloves, now I'm up to 20.
It's just pretty good. Is there any drawbacks to being scarred? And
Other than having scars.
yeah,
The scars, in terms of gameplay mechanics, are a cosmetic-only thing. But that being
Okay.
said, some people don't want to have their character all having permanent things. Like, look how many people in BG3 don't take the enhanced tadpole because they don't want the black veins on their face. There's mods for that.
Is there?
If you don't want to have that. We want all the Elithid powers, but without the ugly. So it's a permanent cosmetic effect. I would say that...
a la Laszlo.
I will also just warn that in terms of order of operations, if you do the warrior spirit blessing and then get your mom to true polymorph you, Turok, it is going to remove the scars because it's
Wait 1 hour, please.
It's literally on the body.
Wait, Ma, hold on. Let me go do that thing first.
So just keep that in mind that if you do this now and then have your mom transform you, will lose.
Sorry, dude. It's a one-time
Okay, so
thing.
I gotta go to Mama and then come back. Got it. Okay.
You have a buy one get one free thing.
Should the scarring happen first before we do anything? Because, and I look at Zen, he's has medical training. We could take care of the scarring in relatively quick order.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't say.
Well, we need the scarring. What do you mean get
Wait.
rid of it?
No, we could handle the scarring part now. Then I look at Laszlo and I look at Zen because.
Well, I'm gonna not assume anything. I'm just gonna let the chieftain here explain all that further. But I recall you do say it was magical in some way. So there's probably some ritualistic
Yes, it is
sides to
also
things.
not completely free of disadvantages.
Okay.
For one thing, in order to use some components material-wise, I am going to need some money.
Oh.
Before you explain more, I really use the bathroom. Be right back.
Okay.
There's a cauldron right there, dude.
There's a call.
There's a
Ooh.
cauldron there.
Don't piss in my cauldron.
Don't piss in the cauldron, dude.
That's bad.
I literally pour that on my scars. It's kind of gross.
It's alright. It adds ammonia.
So the downside is finances.
The bane of all liberals.
Yeah.
Finances.
Permanent
Taxes.
scars on your character that are, if they are ever removed, you just will constantly take fire damage. Even if you're not Actually, no. If you're in the sober state, you don't take the fire damage.
Okay.
It's only when you're triggering the berserker state that you begin to emanate heat. So, besides the monetary cost for the buy-in to the club,
Okay.
permanent scars, and you take a bit of risk every time that you do something. Well, this technically goes into the berserker state, so I'll save that for the berserker state thing. But it technically is something you need to worry about.
I'm back.
Hey,
Wait,
hey.
from my understanding, the Berserker state, we have to stay here for a little bit and get trained on it, or am I just tripping?
So there are a couple of things that you'll get on the immediate ritual, and some things that will have to happen over time. The particular type of training has to be done here. So, in terms of time investment, I can open a cold one.
Gronk it.
In order to get the benefits, you will need to train here for at least 1 week in-game.
Now, is this a constant training, like non-stop, 24-hour
Training montage.
Mulan montage.
Mulan montage,
Yeah.
where we don't stop until we
Is
go
it
to
let's
sleep?
get to business? Or...
Well, are they gonna make a man out of me and all that shenanigans?
Whether or not there is a song to go along with the training montage, it is a week of training, and it must be completed in succession. Not so much because you lose the training, it's because the imbibement that you'll be taking will be coursing through your veins for 1 week during the training, and if it falls off, then you have to essentially reset. So once you finish the orc version of the Trial of Grasses, and you come out the other side unscathed, you can use the other half of the Scarred Flesh Tribe stuff in order to begin drinking a very special tincture that they will, during the training, teach you how to craft. Even if you don't have alchemy kit training, you can still create it at the end of the training montage. You still need some of the components from the alchemy kit, such as something to put it in, and the few things like the mortar and pestle associated with it, but you don't need the full kit, nor do you need training in alchemy kit. But you can only create this one concoction if you don't have it. It doesn't just give you immediate proficiency in alchemy tools. It just gives you proficiency in this one tincture. The ingredients themselves are, in terms of gameplay, anything that has debuff 2. The Berserking is technically a debuff 2. In DM, you'll be saying, but I don't want a debuff. Well, it's just hold your horses. Under normal circumstances, the Berserking would cause you to essentially not be able to distinguish friend from foe, but part of the training is essentially being able to maintain the difference between friend and foe. So you get all the benefits of Berserking, which is increased to strength damage, or sorry, any damage rolls that involve strength, so you cannot use it for finesse. It also makes it so you can't, I draw my bow back harder, I don't know. But it's only for strength damage, but you get a boost to anything that deals damage with strength. So that does include thrown weapon property stuff, so you can throw really hard. As the chieftain had demonstrated. Yeah, you can throw really hard, or in martial combat with melee, that is not finesse based. Well, you can still use finesse weapons, but you'd have to use your strength for it as opposed to your dex. So you can still use a rapier, but you're not using it for like little quick flourishes. You're just gutting the motherfucker. But yeah.
Okay.
Pin someone to a wall with the rapier.
All potions that you drink, this is also for the sober state, double in duration. This is not even with Berserking. This is just a bonus for completing the training. Doubles duration of all potions. It does not double the healing from something like a healing potion. It's just only for duration-based things. So you can turn a 10-minute into a 20-minute.
Double the laxative.
It could be.
That
You
means
also
it doubles the speed.
The
Potion?
duration.
just doubles duration of all duration-based potions. And you also gain resistance to poison.
So if that's true, if you drink a potion of haste, does that mean you're downed for double the time?
The duration only, not so much the downtime.
Okay.
It's 20 minutes.
You're tweaking for 20 minutes.
Haha, fuck you.
Ah!
Haha,
could
you're
run-
out, bitch.
The Adderall's kicking in.
You could just run around in a circle, especially Dauntless. Imagine that, like the speed that they can move. I mean, that doesn't really sound like too many downsides here.
You're already scarred on your face anyway.
Yeah.
You do take one penalty for this, that is, at the end of completion of your training, is that you have disadvantage on all intelligence saving throws, permanently. Oh no, he's retarded.
He's a wizard.
No.
Already
Oh
at
no,
0 on
I'm
those.
stupid.
Well, disadvantage is not so much anything that's going to harm your intelligence score, but you just get disadvantage on all int saving throws.
Oh, it's only saving throws?
Int saving throws, yeah.
But we do
Okay,
get
not in
resistance.
checks.
We do get resistance to charm.
Charm and resistance to poison damage. Zen's just like, what poison damage?
Exactly. I poison heals me now, pretty much.
Alright, I'm good for it.
I'm
I-
still good for it.
What's the bonus to strength damage? Like what you said, is that just based on the fact that it goes to a 15 when you use finesse with strength?
No, the 15, the strength to 15 thing is just for your initiation prize.
Okay.
When you're actually berserking, the berserk state is technically a debuff, but with the training that you go through for the week, you remove the debuff and you keep all of the strengths of berserking. Which is, in terms of, if you want to know what exactly it does, it increases any strength-based damage dice. You add another damage dice to it.
Oh my god,
Okay.
I'm fucking doing this. Let's do it, baby. Dottie.
Oh, you gotta get your polymorph first.
Like, Mom.
Ah,
Mom,
The guy!
Dottie.
I
What's your strength again?
Okay, so currently it's 19, counting the strong gloves, but
Okay.
it's 14.
But take off the strong gloves.
It's 14.
Okay. And then it would increase to 15, right? Because
Yeah,
you
no,
can't
it'd be
stack
20.
those. You can't stack the strong gloves. You can't go past 19, let's say.
I can't?
No, you can't. No, yeah, I learned this. When Dan was trying to increase his intelligence, I checked, and you can't increase past 19. So if you go to 9, if you take this thing, you'll go to 15.
Yeah, that's why I
naturally.
gave it to Zen because I
Yeah.
was
So-
exceeding it without it.
So you'll go to 15 naturally, right?
Yeah.
And then I forgot to tell you this, but Kalos would have given you the +2 to strength, so you'll go to 17 if you do the training whole thing.
Wait, what do you mean he would give me +2?
He would have given you that well, what did you call it, Adam?
It's like a skill book, right?
Yeah, the skill book that wasn't a skill book. That's
Oh, the
that,
fucking grip strength
yeah,
trainer?
the grip strength trainer, that thing. That would
It's
increase
just a
your
permanent
strength by
+2?
2. Yes, but you have to train it for
It's the same
5,
as
6 days.
yeah, 6 days.
6 days.
4
I
hours a
don't
day.
suppose I could do that?
4 hours a
Yeah,
day.
okay. Alright, that'll be... Okay, so 15... What's the modifier in 15?
Plus 2.
Okay, so I would just have a natural built... So wait, my strength would be 15, but plus this grip thing, it would be +4?
Plus 3. Because
Oh, no,
17
okay.
is 3.
So 15... Oh, it brings 2 up. Okay, I
Yeah.
understand.
And then when you get a feat or whatever, you can bring it to 18, which would bring it to +4.
Like yeah, when you get an ability score increase, you could put 2 strength points, even more again.
Alright.
Hey, you guys metagaming over there? Stop.
I'm just trying to figure out what my strength is because it's going to fuck up like literally everything for a little bit.
Well, maybe this is the perfect
it-
time to
is
transition
it-
to a digital sheet, Andrew.
Fuck up, or is it
Well, because right now
metamorphosis?
that's just a lot of things to think about.
Okay, well, think about it while we're on the week.
Yeah,
I just wanted to point this out. I'm sorry if I left early yesterday. I left early last week, so I was supposed to tell you last week, but I didn't. So now that this comes up, I'm bringing it up.
All right. I take out a knife. All right, Laszlo, you want me to carve you up?
Wait, that's what we had to carve up
It's that
ourselves?
same
No.
way.
Wait,
We have
what's-
special ritual knives for that.
What's the monetary cost for this, Chieftain?
Right. In order to compensate us for the ingredients that you'll be using, per person it is going to cost you 750 gold worth of ingredients.
Okay, I'll pay that myself.
Baby, please. We got that.
I look to Zen. Could I borrow 400 from you?
User
Fine.
in your channel.
Grandpa.
timed out.
You can borrow 400, so 750.
So the only downside for little old Laszlo here is disadvantage on intelligence saving throws.
And the cosmetic scars.
But I have a plus
I owe
9,
Zen
so plus 9 at disadvantage is still pretty rad.
Yes.
Until you hit a natty 1 and you get a 10 total. Cry about it.
All right, so minus on in saving throws.
No, it's a disadvantage. Not
Disadvantage.
minus.
Well, yeah, when I put minus, I just on my sheet I use that as disadvantage plus as advantage.
Oh, the symbol. Okay.
Kalos is gonna be a pal and pay for Turok. Turok doesn't have any money.
He's gonna pay for himself.
I got this dirt and lint. Yeah,
Listen,
the
my
old-
squirrel ran away at the last fight, so
that squirrel's rich somewhere. It's like,
I'm fucking
living out
balling.
large. You hear like Minotaur squirrel purchases whole bar. Like what the fuck? Maybe he's going out to kill that person that had him before. Like vengeful. I mean, do you think this is good for Laszlo to take? Guys, like being real for a sec. Like,
I mean, you're mostly brain based. I don't know.
yeah, but I can still blade song. It doesn't mean I can't blade song. And then because of
Yeah,
I'm
and
level
if you're
14.
berserking, you can't cast spells.
I still get a plus 4 with my Song of Victory, but I don't imagine I would need to be berserking. It's just a baseline, like the jumping stuff sounds really useful for like mobility's sake.
Should we hold off on this because Varys isn't here and he might want to do this too?
I mean, I'm fine with whatever. Yeah, I want to think on it a little bit.
Chieftain, can we get a to-go bag?
Chief, can
Only
we?
a week's worth to go back. Like, yeah, it's a pretty big decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel fair.
Also, want to give you a heads up. I have to leave at 11:30. I have to go murder a pig.
Oh, dude, what kind of pig?
A pig.
What
Farm
pig?
pig?
What pig breeds do you have?
I have no idea. They're bringing it at 11, and I have to go help them out. Butcher.
Do you
it.
have to? You own a barbecue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's gonna bring the whole pig carcass to the parade.
Henry, send me
I'll send you pics.
pics of that.
I got you.
Send him
Like,
pigs.
I'm in a Discord group with my mates, and it's called the Pig Barn. And there's loads of different
Pictures of pigs.
all the channels are like for Valheim it's Valswine, Halo is Halo there, little pig. They're just like and all the channels: pig, swines, hogs, sows, oinkers, curly-tailed sweeties. There's
The
like
fuck is this group?
it's pig themed. Okay, the trough
why?
is for where you. I don't know. Just let my
Aren't peeing
mates
as a
know.
pig on
Adam,
weekends?
don't judge. All right.
I know I am judging. It sounds like some furry stuff.
That's not.
You say so. What's
You
your
just have to take my
what's your pig role? Little oinker?
No, they're the pens, mate. That's the voice channels.
Yeah, but everyone has like a fucking role in the thing. Like the person who's like the server host could be the fucking
Speaking about pigs, a video just came up on Instagram, and I want to send it to you, Dan.
Hell yeah. Do it.
Anyways, let's get back to this thingy. So, let's go over all of the stuff. For the low cost of scarring your flesh permanently and 750 gold worth of ingredients, you gain plus strength up to 15, or plus 1 if it's already at 15 or above. Can go over cap. Gain increased jump distance as if you were under the effect of the enhanced jumping spell. Increased carry weight capacity as if you were holding the bear totem, not the damage resistance part. So push, pull, and carry weight are all tripled.
I can jump how far?
Jump spell. Look up the 5e jump spell. That's what you'll get permanently by default without having to cast it. That's pretty.
You get resistance to poison.
And charm resist, right?
So just take in mind some of these. Well, actually, the ones that I just listed right now are the initiation. Everything spoken now is after the training. So after training, you get the resistance to poison, the charm resistance, the penalty to your int saving throws, which is disadvantage, the ability and knowledge on how to drink and create the tinctures, which give you the berserking status and remove the penalties of being able to not differentiate friend from foe. The berserking bonus is a +1 damage dice to any strength damage rolls and can be applied to weapons with a thrown property. And oh right, and the last one is when you're berserking, you have an aura around you that constantly deals 1d6 fire damage. That's just always on, and it does not discriminate. So just keep that in mind.
So if I just become an initiate, I get the cool shit without the my mind faculty for saving throws and ints. Or if I interpreted that wrong, do I still have to do the full week? Like...
Wait a minute. When you make a high jump, you leap into the air a number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength mod. Which part of that is tripled? Just everything?
The distance.
The distance, yeah.
So if you put parentheses around that for order of operations wise, put everything calculated in there, and then outside the parentheses times 3. So if your jump distance was like 30 foot, horizontal.
Oh, so I can't just jump 30 feet up.
Well, it's tripled. I don't know, whatever your jump distance calculation is tripled.
Would that stack with Step of the Wind?
Well, with gloves.
Isn't Step of the Wind initially basically just the same effect as?
I think no. Step of the Wind doubles
Jump distance.
Yeah.
The reason I asked this is with the gloves, my strength is +4, so 3 + 4, 7 times 3 is 21
anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, I like the idea of Zen having ×6 jump distance. That's just funny.
So I can read what jump for you, Andrew, before you go on that bit.
I'm just curious. From a standing position, does that mean I could just jump 21 feet in the air?
There are different calculations for running and standing jumps.
Long jump and high jump.
Yeah, when needs at least 10 feet of straight line.
Yeah, that's the high jump.
All right, I'm more concerned with the standing jump.
When you make a standing long jump, you leap only half that distance. When you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on your foot immediately before the jump. When you make a standing long jump, you leap only half that distance. Either way, each foot you clear on the jump costs a foot of movement.
Well, I have like tons of speed. I have speed for days. I'm more concerned like vertical, just like straight up.
Okay, I'll give you a scenario. Oh no, we need to go up a staircase which is 15 foot high, but there's a gap that I have to run around to get to the stairs.
I understand that, but like just vertical jump though. That's what I'm
half of that distance. But if it's tripled, so what your strength score 15, so 15 times 3.
So I can just jump 7 feet straight up in the air.
Divided by 2, 22 feet in the air vertical jump. Because if you're tripling your 15 strength score, well, your strength score would become, 18?
Well, okay. My strength...
Assumedly you read your book and your gloves. Like, what would that be?
Well, for right now, before we do anything, my strength modifier is +4.
Okay.
It's not. It's the
So
score, not the
it's the
Okay.
score
modifier.
itself, Andrew.
Yes, but you guys have you guys need to take off the gloves in
Yeah,
this
what
equation.
was-
All
what
right.
would
So
that be?
my strength score base right now is 15 with a modifier plus 2.
Yep. Don't care
It's-
about the modifier. What would it be after you had
So
read
15 plus
your so 17?
17 plus 3 would be 20. But like,
No, you're doing math wrong. Okay.
What's the
so
score of strength? That you
Right
don't the
now.
modifier
Fuck
you
the
don't add
modifier
on.
right now.
Like,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Okay.
15.
stop. Yeah. So 15 by
15 right
default,
this second.
and you've
Mhm.
read your book to give you +2. Assuming
17.
17.
so 17
And then
times
he
3.
takes the train. Oh wait, we're talking.
Just for the stack jump, and minus then divided by 2, you would be able to jump 25.5 feet vertically in the air from a standing still.
So I can just jump straight up the height of a telephone pole.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
So that's with it at a 17 score. And then if you put the gloves back on, it would still be 19 because it doesn't exceed over that. So 19 times 3 is 57 divided by 2, 28 feet. So nearly 30 feet. And then if it's like running long jumps, it's feet up to a strength score times 3. So you'd be able to, oh my god, you'd be able to jump like 40 something feet with a long jump.
Holy shit! It's like Baldur's Gate. It's like
Yeah,
how,
that like yeah.
Well, then if
It's like-
Zen Step of the Winds, that's what, times 6? And it's what, 15 times 6 for a horizontal running jump.
90 feet.
Hey guys, is it going to go to the Grand Canyon?
Well, because I'm also thinking I have this. If I'm not going to use the strength gloves anymore, I can go back to having default spider gloves, so I can just like
I can just be Spider-Man.
I can do preposterous shit now with movement, even more so.
Yeah, so, let me just backtrack on one thing. You do take the penalty to int score on the initiative of taking this.
Okay.
So you have disadvantage on your int saving throws as the initiative.
That does scare me, given Illithids.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Totally not going to have a recap of campaign 1 with the confusion.
I'm not taking it for that. If everyone else is taking it, I feel much more confident in at least having the smoking gun of someone being able to resist them. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
have a
feel like
purple
two
one.
of us is enough.
Designated
Yeah.
drivers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, let me just rephrase that. You do get the int penalty on just starting. You get the charm resist after training. So, if
And the resistance to poison as well. That's
yeah,
in
and
there with
the
it,
resistance to poison at the end of the training.
yeah. Okay.
So what you would get right now, just to recap, is the strength score increase, the penalty to saving throws. You also get the jump and movement thing, and you also get the carry capacity and push-pull weight thing immediately.
Yeah. Doesn't really fit like archetypes wise with Laszlo either, I don't think. So it's like I'm okay with not taking it. As badass and cool as it sounds, as long as other people have it, I'm very happy.
It's alright, Laszlo. We're gonna find a school that's gonna train
we'll
me
find
and
you
and
orcs,
Kalos,
super
and we'll
nerds.
yep.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna be like, haha, fuck you guys. You guys are all
Mind
morons.
bullets, and then we'll
Bitch.
control them because they have disadvantage on intelligence. saving
Exactly.
throws. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's alright. It's alright.
Sounds kinda
Laszlo, and Laszlo and Kalos are
me
just
being
like
able to
looking.
impale someone with a rapier with just pure strength does sound kind of appealing, but there's upsides to maybe not taking this. So yeah,
This
I
is a
will.
knife.
This is a knife through you. Like pin someone to a wall with it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing. Obviously, Varus is not here, so it's a matter of is it something that we can be like, here, did you want to take this? But if he's not here, does he get to miss out on the cool? You know, when we had
Yeah,
our spirit journey in campaign 1, and then I was able to fly around, and then like,
Oh right, and then Frederick was just like, haha, I'm gonna go learn some spells.
yeah, and you weren't there, and I was like, oh shit, I feel bad because we want like a little spirit journey. But
I think honestly we should probably just before we do anything, we should make sure that he wants to not do it. We should probably
Yeah.
just end it
He's-
here or something? Just
Might be
just in case?
safest. Yeah.
Well,
Actually, let's
we
end
can-
it as Turok gets his new body. 'cause he
Yeah.
wants
Get
his
that
new
out of the way. Yeah.
Mom!
My old body, but cooler.
Mom! Get me sexy back.
I wanna be able to drink things.
that is not a sentence I think you should be saying to your mom.
Mommy, I want to look good again.
Well,
Oh, mijo, you're already so handsome.
yeah, exactly. You don't need any of this. You look like you don't look like my son right now, but
A face and only a mother could love, but change it
Yeah.
anyways. Alright, so let's see.
yeah, it's just. I think
So
that's
everyone
a good way,
who's gonna take it is basically everyone except for the int boys.
And
Yeah.
Varys is unknown at this point because he's not here, and
No,
we
that's
don't want to do something.
I don't mind. If
Prematurely.
Henry has to go murder a pig, or is it already murdered?
I think it's about to be murdered. I
Oh
think
my
it's
God.
already murdered.
Oh.
How do
Yeah.
what's like the
It's-
what's like the most humane way to get rid of a pig? Like,
Oh, do you guys want to hear how they did it in Guatemala? It was
We're
the
on
most
live.
Same way,
terrifying
if you
thing.
do it the same way in the Philippines, you hang it upside down and slit its throat.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
Uh,
was one, right? But then this one, they just they just woke up, right? And then it walked over, and then the guy just grabbed the sledgehammer, beat it to in its head,
Oh,
and then it
Jesus.
like knocked out
like,
for like a
stunned it out,
second,
yeah.
and then he came in with and then just slit his throat, and I was just like, dude, that is so fucking
Jeez.
gruesome.
Well, at least he didn't know that it would happen, and it's just like done. Like, because you got the
I was
like the
gonna-
No
I was gonna-
Country for Old Men, like the
I was gonna ask if you have a
pressure.
gun, yeah.
yeah, because that's like they'd have no fucking clue because it's like
Well, you blow it to pieces and then you have pulled pork.
That's gonna be
Oh,
just
that-
full of bone bits.
have you ever heard of a butcher that just I got this live grenade I shot at this pig's ass and I ran away and then it's well
Well,
all good for barbecue though I suppose.
I remember birthday in the Philippines. I was woken
Mhm.
up by the pig being actively slaughtered, and I
Next
woke
next
I-
to you like
I-
whoa.
It was basically next to me. It happened outside, but like
Mm.
the wall was thin enough that I could just, and there was the window that was open. I could just hear it squealing, and I walk out into the backyard, and I see my dad, my grandfather, and one of my uncles just like standing over it, and there's like happy birthday.
Ta-da! The pig's got a hat on. Like,
Oh, happy 10th birthday, Adam! Yay!
oh, mortified.
So
Oh, shit.
let's go to Turok's mom. She has the ritual prepared. Besides the ritual itself, she needs to concentrate on it for an hour for the effect to be permanent. So that's why it takes an hour. Otherwise, if she cuts off halfway, or if you die for whatever reason,
I keep
It-
whispering mole to Turok's mum like oh, mole,
Get your creepy
Turok,
mole friend away from-
Turok.
want to try to roll for persuasion
imagine
on that?
imagine this, okay? A raging barbarian that's got all these tinctures with a burrow speed. Okay, like that sounds fucking terrifying.
That's only going to happen for the first couple days before the transformation,
Oh yeah.
because you turn into an actual
Think
mole
of
at
the
the
think
end
of the
it.
sweet spot of that though. Like,
Well, if you're a creature that is tiny, your weapon damage goes down.
yeah. Don't worry.
Scaling
Scratch
with
that.
your
Don't turn him
thing.
into a mole. I was joking. Turok's mum.
All right, Mom, get me sexy again. Let's do
Don't
this.
say that. Fuck, Jesus Christ, Turok.
Get me sexy back. Minute.
She gives you a little kiss on the forehead and gives you something to essentially put you under the needle. Under the scalpel. It does render you unconscious. Anesthetic and wise. And she begins to form a ritual circle around you. You're all watching. Almost looks like his mom's about to do some like satanic cult ritual with Turok's new body. Begins lining the perimeter of the circle with candles and what apparently is some sort of humanoid skull with a little candle stuck to the forehead so it gently melts onto the brow.
Okay.
All sorts of incense are burned. There's a bucket of some creature's blood that she begins to pour onto his unconscious body. And, you know, she has no changes in face or grimacing to this thing. Kind of just looks like she's going grocery shopping. Like, okay, get one of these, one of
Oh
these.
look, what banana?
Bananas are on sale.
Hell yeah. I'll just be sat at the bar, like looking, having a watch. Right?
She then takes out a sheet of parchment and a bit of charcoal pencil and begins to rub it against a slab of rock. It has a series of etchings on them that begin to embed themselves onto the parchment, at which point she crumples it up and then stuffs it into Turok's unconscious mouth. She looks around at all of you. Don't worry, this is part of it.
A treat for
I
later, I see.
assumed.
Yeah. Parchment.
Then she begins to sit at the head of the ritual circle, knees bent down ever so slightly until eventually she's squatting down in front of it. I say it as if Tarak is a creature that is like a thing right now. And begins to chant. Her arms face upwards, and she has a small pouch of incense that she ignites. Not so that it's a flaming ball in her hand, but just what slowly smolders in her palm. And another one holds a ritual knife that looks like it is probably would give you tetanus.
There's kind of rust there.
And begins to draw in the dirt around Tarak's unconscious body a series of runes that are written in some sort of foreign tongue. I think the guy who speaks Sylvan is not here, so it's just gibberish to the rest of you. The ritual itself is actually surprisingly short, but she needs to concentrate for an hour to maintain it. As the ritual commences, smoke begins to billow from the candles at an almost unnatural rate until eventually it forms a bubble around Tarak's unconscious body. The smell of burning hairs immediately hits your nose as you surmise that either Tarak's flesh and hair is becoming singed by the smoke, or otherwise. And the smoke begins to, almost as if it's being sucked into his lungs directly. You get lung cancer. The smoke begins to disappear as it enters his body, but as the smoke clears, you can see that his overall frame has... Technically, you would have gotten lankier, because you're going from full orc to half orc. That being said, it's not that huge of a contrast. If anything, it actually betters your posture, as the orc posture before had the shoulders kind of rolled forward and a bit wider. Your arch on your back is also not as hunched anymore, and your jawline has shrunk down ever so slightly, so it's not quite unga bunga, but it's more just like, what, like Giga Chad, I guess?
Fuck yeah, Giga Chad, let's go.
Let's put the jumping rules in our group chat for future reference.
As for the rest of the people who are standing around, you can watch, you can look away, but he is going to be transformed before your very eyes. And
gotta look at that.
And no, he's not going to be nude, because it strictly says in the True Polymorph spell that your gear contorts to your new form, which is technically your old form. As the ritual finally meets its finale, Tarak's mother stands up and grabs her quarterstaff, at which point she strikes it hard onto the head of the ritual circle, causing all of the candles to immediately cease existing. Oh, the flame, not the candle itself. And extinguish all at once. Tarak is laying there, back on the floor, looking upwards. You slowly blink into consciousness, and you feel there's a wad of paper in your mouth. Your mother comes over and kind of like pinches your cheeks together, so you make a little kissy face, and then she begins to just like take the paper out of your mouth, and then helps you sit upright by pushing your shoulders upward, so you're sitting on your butt. She offers you not quite a mirror, but just a slightly reflective surface in the form of a silver tray that she uses for serving drinks. Kind of holds it up in front of you. Now there's the face that I remember. I cleaned it up a bit, so if you had any scars from before, well, you're going to need to re-earn them again.
No. You know, Mom, I always had a question. How come I have golden eyes and you and Dad don't? I never understood that part. Is that just from the bloodline or something?
That is something that your late father would have to answer. It doesn't come from my side of the family. That I know of, at least.
Okay.
We didn't do any kind of weird chemical reagents mixing when you were born or anything. Maybe it was just an extra little gift.
Well, Tarak, if you want to actually know, I could explain genetics to you.
Shut up, doctor. And I hug my mom with a big old bear hug.
Now, there are some things that you're going to need to still worry about. You're still cursed, my son. I could not remove that with this spell. However, you are no longer dead.
Oh my
So,
god.
you may go about everything else you were going in life, but I surmise that, now this is the worst case scenario, if you do die again, your next body will continue the curse. So, don't die again, please. It's not good for my heart.
Well, that means that this time around, Duvet can't hard counter me, which is great.
I
Good.
can't get CC'd.
That's good. It means you'll have a better fighting chance. Now, you are going to challenge him again.
Oh, fucking course I am. Look at me. I'm fucking back to my old self.
She ruffles your hair. Good.
That your girl guy was kind of suspect during that whole thing. We were watching from high above, and yeah, I don't suspect
He was
it'll
quite a
be any-
character, yes.
Yeah, well, we've already discussed that.
But whatever secrets that he's holding are not known to me. I've parted ways with his teachings and gone my own separate way. In some aspects, I am more learned than him, but in others, he has an advantage over me of several lifetimes of studying, so... This is the peak of what I can do, and is not something that I can do particularly often, but this was very much well worth it. If any of you want to do the same, whatever reason, I can do this again in a week.
Well, I don't necessarily need that, but if you could you do the shimmering body thing that you did? a couple
Sure,
hours
it
ago?
just shows you a manifestation of your soul.
Yes, please.
Ah, you're quite eager for this. Very well. Let me just grab something from my bag, and I will be with you in just a moment. Turok, honey, could you just do me a favor and start cleaning up the circle a little bit?
Hell yeah, Mom.
Good. Alright, you, Daedalus, stand as still as you can, and you don't need to clear your mind of anything. It is an unconscious process. All the meanwhile, she grabs her quarterstaff again, the little blue flame that comes in her hand that's like smoking almost. She begins to trace it over your frame, and eventually kind of presses her thumb up against your brow, and then all the smoke accumulates in an unoccupied space right next to you. It is a human man shape. Very average in height. I would probably say about 5'8". It does not show certain facial... No, it shows facial features, but it removes hair. So it's
Okay.
just like your body as if you're like a blank mannequin.
Could myself and Zen co-opt a drawing together and like get
Well, I
like
can-
a profile picture of this person?
I can see it, right?
It's literally standing right next to you.
Yeah, but
Does
you're
it
not going to
look
know
like
who
the
it is.
vision we
like-
saw? Or the vision I saw when I was doing the library book thing a while ago?
Which one?
The what can I call it? When we were talking to the library guy, the
Yeah.
librarian.
Oh, in the...
Yes.
you mean Nidus?
Is that
When we
right?
were in Sanctus?
I wrote this down
Okay.
somewhere.
He's finding it.
Guys, I gotta go.
Have fun.
Enjoy the
Bye.
barbecue.
Thanks, boys.
User disconnected from your channel.
No, not yet.
No, not Nidus. Stop the Nidus thing.
Librarian.
When we were in the black market and it showed us the vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me navigate to that page. I know what you mean, though. Necromancer. No. Getting there.
Well, there's Serbi's Manu and Nefer Amen Etef, but like I don't think my soul is gonna have a conjuration of like, yep, this is me.
He does not have a name tag on it, no, sorry.
Exactly.
And you've technically never seen either of the two, so...
Yeah.
The only one you would have seen is the guy you literally met at the temple, but obviously that's him, not you. So, takes the form of someone whose figure. Now, take in mind this is a blue smoke, so it does not show
He's blue.
skin. It doesn't show skin color.
Okay.
And any hair. It just has the facial structure, height, and like physique. So, it is a 5'8" man whose facial features are very reminiscent of a Sanctus denizen. Bald. But you're not sure if he's bald because the guy has bald, but you've seen that the one that Turok was also bald, and Turok's
Sure.
not bald. So
Okay.
So I need the guys who are doing the portrait to make a. Is this a performance check technically?
Would it be sleight of hand?
I don't think so.
I think
That'd
that'd
be
be do like a performing arts thing. Would be like.
Well, I was thinking if you were doing like a disguise to like craft what this person looks like.
Like the police sketch.
Well, let's maybe do some googling. So.
What do the police need to roll when they're doing artistic representations?
A painting roll. What
I don't know
check
what stat-
to use for drawing an image? Bring ability score checks is tricky. Obviously, if you have... Yeah, most people are saying performance check.
Okay.
And if you have proficiency in that tool set of either like a sculptor thing or like a potter's wheel or something, you can add to your proficiency. So
I have proficiency in performance. Would I be able to give Zen advantage?
A two artist thing could end up having two completely different art styles. So like one half of his face is like Andy Warhol and the other one is anime. So if you want to risk a weird homunculus creature as this painting, then yes.
Let's just try.
Performance
individually? Yeah, okay.
two different portraits.
My D6.
Yeah, I'll use
You're
my
about to
D6
end,
as
so.
well.
Yeah, one of them's gonna be a caricature where his forehead is
Ooh.
enormous or something.
I rolled
Thinking.
extremely well. 23.
Holy shit!
Rolled a 19.
25. I got. But I
Some
like
of these
Zen.
could be arguably put up into like
Subjective. It's subjective.
This is going to go in Dauntless's Wallace.
Belongs in an art museum. But technically speaking, though, how much time would you allot to make these portraits?
How long does the image stay?
As long
1
as
minute.
we can have
You have
it.
1 minute.
A
So
minute.
you have to do it for a minute, and then the rest of it's gonna be from memory.
Okay.
So,
Got
but
good memory.
well, it's gonna be from memory. But with those in check, how long do you think you would want to actually spend on the portrait? Because it's either gonna be a rough sketch. It's a really nice rough sketch.
I
but
think
like-
I would do it in the rough style.
Given how long we've been looking and for answers and all the extent we've gone to, as long as I can take, maybe like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Sure.
Okay, so I do the quick sketch. She does the fancy one.
His has shading, even comes with a little background thing of like Laszlo like inserts a little miniature version of himself in the corner as his narcissism is peeking through.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm gonna
And
erase
for
that.
some reason, it's almost as good a detail as the actual image.
It may be a little bit better, but okay.
Gave myself a huge muscles, even though I didn't take the ritual.
I don't need the ritual. That's what he's thinking in his head. I don't need it.
So,
Officially,
you get the Zen sketch, and you get the portrait hour-long sketch from, portrait from Laszlo, plus Laszlo himself in the painting.
Okay.
And it looks like a man. So you can definitely tell that you were once a human man of about 5'8". And,
How old looking?
Uh,
Or does it match up with the soul, I guess? Like,
it would be a rough approximation of someone who is a human in their mid-30s and is not an alcoholic. So I say that as in because that kind of makes you look older. But yeah, like a mid-30s human man, about 5'8". Relatively normal-sized head. Brow is well, you can't tell where his hairline is because bald.
bald.
His nose is kind of like his nostrils are slightly flared out, and his lips are not particularly like wiry thin or anything. Very kissable lips, I guess.
Write that down. Kissable lips.
Fuck me eyes. But yeah, use your imagination for like a Arabic themed man.
Okay. No beard.
Well, no hair, so
Oh
Can't-
shit! Yeah.
again doesn't have any hair. Your
Okay.
your soul doesn't have hair.
Dang.
And with that, Turok has his new digs, or rather his old digs. He kind of just
Revamped old digs.
actually, well, it technically is new because it's fucking ship of Theseus over here.
I mean, I could still I could totally raise undead on.
But then you'd have two Turoks, but one of them would just be a. Whoa! It took us this many sessions to finally get the pun. All right,
We did it.
But yeah, well, next session we'll go over to see if Varys wants to do the warrior spirit as well, and the people who already know they want to get it, they'll get their int penalty, but then all the other benefits of jumping around like a fucking mountain goat.
But we have like a week. I mean, I said like some point next week I'll swing by and pick up the people I paid. So that lines up. Like if we do a week thing and then I go there and
Yeah, you're not even doing the ritual, so you don't even need to be here. So
yeah.
actually, it lines up pretty well. All right, I need to start preparing to walk in a straight line.
What's the parade about, Adam? I forgot to ask.
Everyone's
Scouts? Yeah.
favorite Columbus Day, and by that I mean not everyone's favorite,